What if the most intimate parts of you, your cherished memories, weren't just personal treasures, but actual currency?
Mm.
Imagine a world where, your first kiss, the warmth of a childhood summer, maybe the thrill of triumph,
Yeah,
could be bought, sold, or even stolen. What would that actually mean for who you are?
that's a heavy question to start with.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into the memory market. It's this profound narrative that explores a future where identity itself,
Yeah,
well, it hangs in the balance.
right, because memories have become the ultimate tender.
Exactly. We've extracted the core insights from this compelling story, and our mission today is really to analyze its shocking implications and maybe find some surprising truths it holds about, well, us, human experience.
And it's a narrative that really doesn't just entertain. It kind of forces us to confront the very nature of self, doesn't it?
It really does.
Beyond just the mechanics of this, well, unsettling market. We'll try to uncover the ethical inversions it presents and truly examine what it means to be you when your personal experiences are commodified. The stakes here are immense.
Yeah.
And the insights are frankly chillingly relevant.
So let's try and immerse ourselves in this unsettling future. In the memory market, memories are, as you said, the new tender.
Mm-hmm.
The story paints a really vivid picture. These deeply personal experiences, they're extracted through something called neural siphons
Right, neural siphons. Think of them as incredibly invasive, very precise instruments.
that literally draw out fragments of consciousness.
That's the idea. And once extracted, they crystallize. They become these shimmering blue shards.
Wow. So not just data, but a tangible thing.
A tangible piece of someone's past, yeah.
It's striking how immediately the narrative connects that physical extraction to, the broader implications of capitalism.
Yeah, absolutely. If we step back, what this really reveals is how far that commodification impulse can go, consuming even the sanctity of our innermost being.
It's pretty bleak.
And these memory shards aren't just pretty objects. They function exactly like money.
Right.
Used to pay debts, buy luxuries, even to bribe your way out of trouble. It's a horrifyingly efficient system in its own way.
And maybe the most unsettling visual in this whole world is the memory district itself.
Oh, yeah.
Picture it. Neon signs blazing, advertising first kiss premium quality right next to childhood summers or fearless nights.
It's bizarre. It makes you wonder, what's the return policy on a fearless night that turns out to be just average?
Right. It truly paints a picture of how far this commercialization extends, reducing our most private experiences to, well, consumer goods. Amidst all this, we meet Jonas Harker. He's our central figure.
Right.
He's a systems auditor. So someone who typically deals with cold, hard facts, tangible assets.
They're very grounded.
Exactly. He still carries old-fashioned keys, apparently.
Mhm.
It's like a symbol of his grounded, almost anachronistic nature.
Yeah, that detail says a lot.
And this background makes his reluctant entry into this world, a world built on ephemeral memory currency, even more poignant. He's literally built to see the world one way.
And it's crumbling before his eyes.
Yeah.
That background is critical, isn't it? Because it begs the question, what could compel a man like Jonas, who values such concrete things, to step into such a terrifying and, frankly, abstract market?
And the answer
As it often is.
deeply personal. His sister, Lila.
Lila, yeah.
Yeah?
She had already sold too many of her memories.
How bad was it?
The story describes her with hollow eyes, unable to remember her own name for more than an hour at a time.
Oh, wow. That's rough.
And her creditors weren't just after money anymore. They were threatening to repossess her very sense of self.
Repossess her sense of self. What does that even look like?
Exactly. It's a chilling phrase.
And Jonas's initial attempts to help her,
Yeah.
they're just heartbreaking in their futility, aren't they?
Totally. He tries to buy back a simple collection of childhood birthdays for her, something basic, something foundational.
But the broker, of course.
Ever the opportunist, tries to tempt him with better offers for adult experiences, love, betrayal, triumph.
Yes. It just underscores how, even in such a bleak world, the pursuit of profit just twists everything, even human connection.
Yeah.
Now, this memory market, it isn't just a shiny, above-board operation. Really.
Oh, no. Like any economy, it has its dark underbelly.
Like what?
There are back alleys where illicit trades of stolen memories thrive, often taken from the wealthy or criminals, people whose memories might be valuable or dangerous.
So a deeper layer of depravity in an already ethically inverted system.
Precisely. And it's within this shadowy world that Jonas encounters one of the most striking moments, I think, in the entire story.
Go on.
He meets an old woman, And she offers him a memory, not for sale, but for free.
Free in this economy.
Exactly. A memory of unwavering hope, which she calls a stolen childhood. Yeah. She tells him, not yours. Someone paid dearly to keep it, and now you've taken it. Which forces you, the reader, and Jonas to consider the very concept of ownership of an internal experience. Can you steal hope?
Wow. Yeah. And Jonas's experience of this memory.
It's incredibly visceral. He describes suddenly being propelled into a sunlit field, laughter in his chest, no weight of debt or sorrow.
Oh, joy.
For mere seconds, a fleeting burst. But when it faded, it left him with tears, guilt, and crucially, a spark of defiance.
So it wasn't just a memory, it was a catalyst.
Absolutely, a turning point.
And that spark, it ignites this profound, agonizing decision. Jonas makes the ultimate sacrifice.
He does. He chooses to sell his own memories.
Which ones?
He parts with pieces of himself that really define his journey. Things like early career victories, friendships, even fleeting romances.
Oh man, it's an emptying out, isn't it? Not just of his past, but of his very essence.
That's exactly how it feels. And this act, as devastating as it is, speaks volumes about the intertwined nature of identity.
How so?
Well, when Layla receives some of her memories back, presumably bought with Jonas's sacrifice, her eyes lit up a little more.
So a partial recovery.
A partial recovery, yes. But it highlights that identity isn't purely individual, it's profoundly relational. Jonas's sacrifice directly restores a piece of his sister's lost self.
But the cost for Jonas, it must be immense.
Oh, it is. He describes a profound emptying out, a sterile void when he tries to recall simple sensory details, like the smell of rain.
The things we take for granted.
Exactly. Or the fundamental excitement of the thrill of solving his first big case. He's functionally the same man on the outside, maybe?
But inside.
A part of his inner world has simply vanished. A blank space where experiences once thrived.
Yet Jonas doesn't just succumb to this emptiness, that spark of defiance we mentioned.
It becomes a flame. He finds and joins a quiet resistance.
Resistance against the memory market.
Exactly. And their strategy is ingeniously disruptive. They're described as citizens who traded hack memories of fictional lives.
Fictional lives, like counterfeit memories.
Pretty much. This is where the narrative pivots, I think, from personal tragedy to a broader societal critique.
How does that work? Flooding the market.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, yeah. By flooding the market with these counterfeits, they aim to destabilize the economy, make memories' value crumble.
That's fascinating.
It's a really provocative act, and it leads us to ponder, is this an act of criminality? Or is it, maybe, the purest form of rebellion against a system that has perverted the very essence of human experience?
That's a great question. And this whole movement challenges us, the listeners, doesn't it?
Yep.
To reconsider the value we place on genuine versus, well, manufactured experiences.
Absolutely. If a stolen memory of hope can stir defiance, like it did in Jonas,
Right.
and a fictional memory can destabilize an entire economy, what does that say about not just memory, but the very nature of truth itself in a world where everything's commodified?
Yeah. Where does truth even fit in? The story concludes with this truly poignant scene. Jonas and Layla, they're atop an abandoned tower looking out over the city.
Yeah, it's a powerful image.
And Layla asks him the question that hangs over everything. Was it worth it?
And Jonas's response, it's incredibly profound. It goes right to the core of the philosophical question the memory market has been posing from the beginning.
What does he say?
He tells her, "You're here. That's worth everything."
Wow.
And then he adds, "Even if I can't remember why I love the sound of rain, I know that I do. Maybe that's enough."
Huh. Maybe that is enough.
It suggests that maybe we are more than the sum of our individual memories. Perhaps identity at its core is defined less by what we recall
Yeah.
and more by our choices, our connections, the enduring truths we feel, even if we don't know why, even in the face of immense personal loss.
So despite those roaring memory markets down below,
Right.
a quiet revolution is brewing. Jonas wonders if they could, against all odds, build a world where memories are sacred again.
Sacred again, not commodities, but the private tapestries of their souls.
That's beautifully put.
This deep dive into the memory market, it's shown us a terrifying possible future, hasn't it? Where intimacy is stripped from memory and the self becomes just another commodity.
Definitely forces you to think.
It forces us to ask, what do we truly value when it comes to our experiences, our histories, our very identity?
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? If you lived in Jonas's world, what memories would you hold most sacred? priceless beyond any market value.
And the flip side?
Yeah, what, if anything, would you dare to trade away?
It's a tough one.
It is. Reflect on that until our next journey into fascinating ideas.